Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is Sean, and I'm over here at Wilbur by the Sea. This is a place I grew up at. Me and my mom and my grandmother, when I was about 15 or 16, they purchased a house on Beachside, and I lived there until 2012. No, actually 2005, 7, something like that. Until the market crashed and we lost our house. We had to sell it, and then we ended up buying another place on the mainland. But when I was a kid, I used to walk down this pathway here, which is straight to my house. This street is called Huron. It's on Peninsula, and across the street from my house was the Halifax River, which leads into the Atlantic Ocean, which I'm showing you right behind me. And I used to come down here when I was a kid. Before I went to school at 7 in the morning, we would go surfing out here. You know, we'd get out here around 5:30, surf for about an hour, go home, shower, and then go to school. And then after school, I'd stay at the school and go to the library and do my schoolwork for about an hour. So I'd get out of school around 4. And then the days that I didn't work at Pizza Hut, because I was a kid, I was like 16, 17, and I had a job at Pizza Hut. And days I didn't work there, I would go all the way down to this place called Ponce Inlet, and we would go surfing every day. Well, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that anytime I've had, that I've lived around here, and I've had decisions to make that are important in my life, I always come down here to talk to God about this, because I feel connected to the ocean. And I'm the kind of person, if I'm not around water or mountains or nature, I feel sick. I feel sickly. So I have to get into the ocean a couple of times a year and have to be around water, have to do fishing, or I just don't feel right. So a couple weeks ago, I've been working at this restaurant called Coastal Restaurant, and a few weeks ago, it's going on 2 weeks, they closed the restaurant down. We got a call on Monday, and they said Wednesday will be the last day that the restaurant will be open. And it wasn't due to the restaurant not being successful. It was a hour wait every day. It's the land that they owned is worth tens of millions of dollars. It's on Dunlawton, and it's a big piece of property. The restaurant's big, and they also own the property that a bank's on. So they were kind enough on Monday to let us know that the restaurant will be closed in 2 days. So my friend Chad and I were working there, and he doesn't have a lot of experience with retail and things like that. So he's been cooking all of his life for 30 years, and he's really good at it. He's elite, and now he's in a position where he has to try something different, and this is what this video is about. See, what happens is that we all have fears. We're all afraid of something, and even if you're not aware of it, you are. And according to the Bible, there's 4,000 different types of fears, and all these fears that you are experiencing, everybody experiences it in their life. Fear is the number one cause of all illnesses. It's an underlying condition that it's inside everybody. So you have to attack fear. You can't run away from it. You have to embrace it. It's who we are. It's nothing wrong with being afraid. There's nothing wrong with trying things new. And also you have to know what you're able to do, and see if you can expand and learn every day, and be a better person that way. You know, especially in the card community, you have grifters and stuff, so you call them out, but you don't dislike them and hate them. You just don't like the things that they're doing. So once again, big corporations do not give anybody any kind of time frame when they lay people off. They just can come in, and they don't give you a 2-week notice and say, hey, we're gonna shut down the restaurant, and here's a month's notice, and go try to find another job, and we'll give you a reference, and we'll also give you severance pay if you stay on and stuff. They don't do none of that stuff here, at least in Florida where I live at. They're very greedy people. There's families that own almost all the property and all the restaurants, and they have got a little oligarchy going on down here. and it's going to come to a grinding halt soon. And whatever goes up must come down, so to speak, you know. But I just want to let everybody know that you can't be afraid of anything. You have to literally attack your fears, and that will make you stronger through the grace of God. If God tells you that He's never, never not around you, God's always going to help you, and God loves you. So these are the things that God tells us, and we have to believe it and understand it, that there's something bigger than ourselves, and that we are not just here to be some kind of, slave to economical terrorism. But you have to work because you're part of the society, that you have to work, and you have to pay for your rent, and you have to pay for electricity and water and food, and people have families, and they have to pay for their kids' diapers and for kids' foods, and they're doing jobs that they just hate because they have to do it. And that's a big problem in society that we have, that no one stands up to this stuff because they're afraid of standing up to it, because they're afraid of losing what little bit they have. But in reality, they're enslaved into a system that has no regard for you or your family or anything, and doesn't care about your age, doesn't care about nothing. It's all that what you can do to provide them to make wealth. That's the fault in capitalism. At one point, capitalism will consume itself, because it's always going to try to take out all the other businesses that it's competing against. And at one point, there will be just one business, and then when that happens, it starts to eat itself, where it lays off people because they want more money, or they try to do shenanigans and pay people less money because they know that they're desperate and they need to pay bills and stuff. So it's not something that I can stop by myself. It's something that we can all stop together. And as I was saying about my friend, he's a prime example, is that he says, hey Shawnee, I don't think I'd be very good at retail because I've never done it before, and I'm not an interesting person. And I said to him, you are an interesting person. You have 30-something years of experience in cooking, and you're really good at it. And when you do retail, like this place he was going to apply to was called BJ's, and they needed a produce person, and they gave him a runaround. Guy put the application in, they tell him to come back, he goes back, they say, hey, we're going to look at your application, and never call him. And Chad is not a man that knows about computers or nothing like that. He's from Ohio originally. He's from a small town, and him and I grew up in Florida. But we grew up when computers just started in the 90s. Like, we graduated in 90, we had computers in the 80s, and he remembers DOS and shit like that. So when I gave him my phone back, because I got a new phone, I gave him my old phone, and it's Windows and shit on it. He has no idea how to use it. He has no idea what YouTube is. He doesn't know what Facebook is. He doesn't know none of that stuff. He knows that if I go into, his thinking is, he goes into a place to employ him, he'll go in there and he'll look for a paper application, and they'll say, you have to go on the interwebs. And he's like, okay, what the hell is that? And how do I do that? So Ashley set him up an email address, and we're teaching him how to use it. But it's like, his fear is that he wouldn't be able to do the job because he's never done retail before. And that's what I'm saying. Those types of things will keep us from growing. And I'm his friend, and I'm there for him, and he doesn't have to worry about rent money right now or nothing like that. I'm not trying to take advantage of him. I just want him to be happy. And luckily I got a little retirement money from working, so I'm looking for a job now. And a prime example is, I got hired at Chickfila, and I didn't realize it was fast food. Like, it's super busy there, and I'm a 50-year-old person. Now, I'm a sous chef and qualified as a food handler, and I can give out the food handler's license and stuff like that, test. I have my food handler's license. I have a lot of credibility where I'm from, because I do good work, and every restaurant I've ever managed and had part of it was very successful, because I'm very good with food costs, and I'm very good at paying employees. I pay them more than other people, because the guys and ladies that I hire are good at their job, and they work hard, and they like working for me, and I like working for them. And I like working with them, and I'm always the kind of guy that goes in there, and when it's busy on the line, I jump in there and I start cooking and doing what I do, and putting food together, and then none of the other managers know how to cook like me or even know what they're doing. They're different types of managers. They're front of the house managers and things like that. So they look at this beautiful sunrise. See it right ahead? God, it's gorgeous. So that kind of stuff I'm good at. And then when I went and got, of course, I got hired right away on Chick-fil-A, and I told them, I was like, oh wow, okay, cool. So I go in there and I look at their setup and their line and the kitchen and how everything's put together, and it's so narrow, and it's would be very difficult to work there because of just not being able to move around quick enough. And then I come to the conclusion that, you know, this job here at Chick-fil-A is for a younger person in their 20s that are going to college, and that can move fast, and that maybe kids for their first job, 16-year-olds and even higher 14-year-olds, that would be good for them to start off there because they're young, they give you a uniform, they're nice people, the work conditions seem pretty decent there, but they offer me $14 an hour, which is very fair for that position. But I had to decline the position because as my physical, I've had 2 hip replacements, my shoulders replaced, and I have to have neck surgery. So me running around the kitchen, you know, pushing out 1,000 sandwiches an hour is not really feasible. It's not that I can't do it, but I'm going to be breaking my body down, and I need to have my body strong enough for the surgery coming up, and I have to be mentally prepared. So I'm not afraid of working at Chick-fil-A or any places like that. You also have, you know, because I'm able to do it. It's just the fact that I'm physically, you know, it's a physical demanding job, and my body can't handle it. Like my mind will handle it, but my body won't be able to handle it. And what happened is I'll work there for maybe a week or a couple of months or something like that, and my body will just break down, and I'll have to, you know, resign my position because my legs will start cramping. It's happened quite a few times in jobs like that, but I've gotten medicine to help me with cramps with my legs, and but the neck part I need to have sorted out. So you have to step out of your comfort zone and do other things, like I was telling Chad, just to see if you can do it. And that's what I did today, and I was just honest with these people and told them, hey, I'm not going to be able to do this for long periods of time. You need to get a younger fellas or ladies in here to do this position, but I appreciate your offer, you know, I appreciate your time, and that's how I am about that. So right now I'm down here, I'm showing you where I live and where I grew up surfing, and I'm talking to you about life, because it's important to know that no matter what happens, you lose your job or whatever, there's going to be other doors opening up. So when I got up this morning at 4:30 this morning, I was watching some videos on YouTube about the card industry, and I come across a few things with a spiritual, global spiritual movement with the bishop over there, and he was talking about different things, and he was speaking about fears in his last video, and I was like, this dude's right about this, and he's right on target about what he's saying. And I started studying, and anything that people say on YouTube, I'll go and verify it. I'll find out the information myself, and I'll see what I can think, you know, what I think is what to be the truth and what not to be the truth. So in times of distraught, or even just times I feel like I just want to come down here to think and vent and just be with nature and God. And as you can see, this beautiful sunrise, this is beautiful. It gives me tranquility, and it lets me know that I'm not alone. I have my friends on YouTube, my family, my friends. We have fun playing with rigged and scripted football with Coach Script, and I also buy cards and share my collection with people so they understand. You know, I show them how not to get grifted by these big channels, these sports channels, the Neo and Sports Card Collector and Sports Card Investor and a Financial Kid and this guy and that person. They're all trying to sell you dreams. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, most of them, and they're just trying to get your money. And I make videos to show you, if you're going to collect stuff, what type of stuff you should collect if you want to hold it for value later on. But you got to realize these are people, they're human beings, and some of these great players may make mistakes off the field, like Kamara is a prime example. And you know, you got to find out what type of people they are off the field before you start dropping big money on them, and you know, that they're not going to do something stupid and get themselves in trouble, and then your card collection or your, you know, investments, as you want to call them, will be worthless. So I also collect fishing poles and fishing rods, pen reels and ugly sticks. But right now I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, finish watching the sunset rise, and I'm gonna go down to the inlet and apply for a position down there where I definitely am qualified to do that position. And it would be a little bit it'll be fast paced, but it won't be so monotonous. Like, that's non-stop at Chick-fil-A. I mean, non-stop. You don't even get time to breathe. And it's very, very busy. So as I say, it's good for people that are younger, that can move around faster, that don't have any real health issues. And that would be a great job. To give you a uniform. They're nice people, as I said. And you have every Sunday off. You know, things like that is cool. So I'm not bashing none of those people. They're really super cool to me. It's just not for me. And you have to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and then you work on your weaknesses, which I just did, to see if I could do this. And I could do it, but I already have pain in my back from standing on them hard ass floors like that with no mats and stuff. So I already figured that wouldn't be a good position for me. So I'm taking the time to go apply for other positions today and strike while the iron's hot. Then when I get home, my friend Chad has been walking everywhere. The man walked like 10 miles yesterday to find a job. The dude's tougher than a coffin nail, so I will give him a ride around if he needs a ride. But he likes walking for some reason, which is cool, but it just takes so long to get to places here. You know, there's a lot of places to apply for, but it does take time to walk down the street because you know, the way the streets are made and the sidewalks are made, they're long and they go uphill and downhill and they're flat. You know, it's long. It isn't as bad as Pennsylvania, the sidewalks there, but it's pretty hot down here in the summertime. So there's definitely a lot of advantages living in Florida, and this is one of them. You can come down to the ocean, you can go down to the river, you can go places on walk. People really aren't judgmental down here, and you can relax your mind. But I just want to let everybody know that God loves us, and there's nothing we can't do through Yahshua who strengthens us. So I know that now. I've taken me, you know, I've always been a religious person. I used to go to Catholic church and stuff like that when I was a little kid. My mom took me there, and we go every Sunday. But I think that there's no spirit of Christ there in those churches that I've gone to recently. I don't feel the spirit of Christ there because they're not talking about Christ or his resurrection or any of the things that are good for us to know about. And then you got a lot of stations out here like that shill Zachary Hubbard bashing Jesus, which in reality his Jesus, that's not even his real name. His name is Joshua. And it's a proven fact that in the 15th century there was a guy from Italy that he was his name's Giovanni something, and he was a linguist and a scholar, and he also was dyslexic, and he thought that the J in the Bible was a Y, which there is no J in the Hebrew alphabet, and there's no J in the Greek alphabet. So it was actually a Y. That's Yahshua. That's Jesus' real name. So God's not going to get mad at you for calling him Jesus because he understands, but his real name is Joshua. So yeah, there's a lot of deception in the world, and you have to go and find out for yourself what's true and what's not true. And you have to believe in yourself. I don't care if you're a 500-pound person that can barely move off that sofa. Your mind is stronger than anything that you know about that on this planet and on Earth. You know, you can't leave Earth. There's a firmament around the Earth. It's all bullshit. These people lie on a daily. It's a way, what they're trying to do is actually crack the firmament to challenge God, and it will never happen. So that's just another topic in itself, and that's something that I had to find out myself. I had to relearn everything, because in school they teach you the earth is round and it's moving 164,000 miles a second, and then the sun is 93 million miles away, and the moon's 155,000 miles or 150,000 miles away, and you're spinning on this ball when you can clearly see it's flat as a pancake. I'm out in the Atlantic Ocean. You can see the sun rising, flat, flat, flat. I got a cell phone. You can see as far as the eye can see. There's no curvature. It's straight ahead. And I don't care what people say about that. It's not my, it's their choice to do that. This video is about fear and how I feel about, you know, challenging myself and not, you know, letting myself get consumed by things I can't do, and then learn about things I can't do and try to do them better, you know, try to do them, and then move on to other things that I'm able to do, and keep going back and forth until I'm strong in the positions that I'm not good at, you know. And that's everything in life. If you want to be good at surfing, you have to learn how to get out there and catch waves. That's how you learn how to surf. You have to paddle out through that channel, through those waves, duck dive underneath the waves when they're huge, because it gets 15-20 feet here at this place. It can get huge. It also could be 4 to 6 foot, but either way, you have to know how to swim. You have to practice, and it's something that you have to do on a daily, and keep yourself strong like that. Paddling out is hard to do. A lot of people can't even make it out to the breaks. But I've been surfing since I've been like 14, 13-year-old person, and I swim like a fish because it's in my nature. I've been around water my whole life, and that's why I teach little Joshua how to swim, and not to freak out and not to be afraid of the ocean, but to love it and respect it. And that's what you do. The things that you fear, you respect it, and then you learn how to defeat it. It may take a day, it may take a month, it may take a year, it may take a lifetime. But as long as you keep trying and you keep being yourself, no matter what anybody says about you, it doesn't matter. It's what God thinks about you is what matters. So you do the best that you can do, and you love each other the best that you can. And anger and profanity, like I get mad and I say curse words all the time, but I'm a lot better about it now, because I understand that it's offensive to God. And I'm not trying to do that, but I am a human being, and I get frustrated and angry, and most of the people that I talk to aren't into intellectual languages where I'm using 25, 50-cent words, you know, and they have no idea what I'm saying. But when I use profanity and I'm right direct to the point, I hit the nerve that needs to be hit, so these folks can understand what's going on. And I've learned to articulate my thoughts better, and to express my opinions in a more validated way by not using profanity as much as I used to. But having a nice Seneca menthol cigarette right now. I have to stop smoking cigarettes, and I'm doing a lot better on that too. But been up early this morning. Like I said, I want to go down to the inlet, and I want to strike where the iron's hot, so to speak, and get positioned down there, and make good food for people that I know. And that restaurant's been around since the 90s, before I moved to on the port over in Port Orange. So I worked there for a while. I also worked at the Adams Mart for a long time too. Beautiful down here, it really is. You can see the sun rising, flat as it gets. The waves are flat. A couple of days ago it was pretty big, and the way the current's going towards the north, if you was to go down to Ponce Inlet, you see the inlet down there, the waves would be smoking. You'd probably be 3 or 4 foot and glassy. That's how big of a difference it is down there. Me and my buddy JP used to surf down there all the time. My friend Jim Parker. And one of my good friends, Scott Brill, which is pro also. It's amazing. I used to sit on the beach and just watch Scott Brill surf. It was like watching Kelly Slater, which I know Kelly. He was in my graduation class in Melbourne. My friends, we had a surf contest, a high school surf contest against all the schools in Florida, and my buddy Dennis Christopher got in second place behind Kelly Slater. We have some of the best surfers in the world in Florida. It's amazing. That Sebastian Inlet's nice too. If you guys ever come to Florida and want to go fishing, there's good fishing down there. You gotta go get yourself some kind of mosquito repellent. The mosquitoes are so bad at Sebastian Inlet. We literally got chased. When we were kids, or about 18, we got chased into the water by these things, dude. And we're walking through the trail to get to the inlet. I mean, to the beach, and the way Sebastian breaks, it's got red sand, and you got to walk down into the ocean, kind of. There's no rocks or anything in that particular area, but it's sand and shells, and it breaks very shallow. Short pound gets shallow, like it'll break a 5-foot wave will break in under like 3 foot of water. And so you get in a tube ride or something like that, you can get slammed right on the sand line, and it'll cut you up pretty good. But you get used to kicking out of the back of the wave, so that doesn't happen to you. But we were walking down there to go surfing, and these mosquitoes were size of fucking quarters, and them things bit the hell out of us. I mean, they were fine, and they literally chased us into the ocean. And when we were in the ocean, I like did a turtle dive, where you take your board and flip upside down with it and still holding your board, and I can hear the bugs hitting the bottom of my board. And finally they just went away, but it was bad. We must have walked into a nest or something. But when you go down there, do yourself a favor and bring some repellent, because you're gonna need it. That stuff is bad down there. The bugs are bad, and you have to watch out for rattlesnakes when you're walking down the trail too, because it's on the sand. I've only seen a few rattlesnakes in Florida. I don't mess with them. I had to catch one and release it, but because it was in a bad way, and then I made it loose and on a stick and got him around his neck and put him in a bag, and then took him to the woods and released him. But it was scary. It's a dangerous animal. To think it kill you. But I don't like killing things, and I want to see it get hurt, because there is a purpose for them things. They do kill rats. God bless my mom. She was scared to death of snakes, and I always would find snakes when I was a kid. And she was so cool about it, but as I got older, she let me know how afraid she was of snakes. You can see the light, something moving around in the light there. People have been talking about these little things moving around. You can see the little thing there to the left. I don't know what it is. It's probably the camera. Yeah, it's the camera. But supposedly there's stuff in the sky that people have been finding. I think that they're, part of the weather things that they're doing, the direct energy weapons and the HARP and stuff like that. They put those things up in the sky to make rain and shit like that. So, and it's not like a conspiracy. It's something that helps humanity when you can make rain, especially in the 40s and 30s with that Dust Bowl in America, where all the farmland dried up and people, there was just big piles of sandstorms and shit like that because there was no rain. So that's why they had to figure out how to make rain, and that was the main purpose of doing that. Then they figured out they can use that technology in war times and make rain on people and shit like that, and it's crazy. But anyway, it's a beautiful day. Good day to start off. Today's Tuesday. As I said, I'm gonna go down to the inlet in a minute. So about 15-minute drive, and talk business with them down there. And then I'll be doing more videos, and I'm gonna do a video on this Dwayne Hoskins stuff. Apparently this poor guy witnessed something that he shouldn't have witnessed a few months ago, about a month ago, and there's a lot of talk that he was taken out for it. Same with Sean Taylor from the Washington Redskins. See, these people talk about that stuff, but what gets me, they're like, oh, these Jesuits are whacking people and shit. Who the hell are the hitmen? Like, by this time, for a long time they've been doing this, somebody would have gotten caught and been like, that's a hitman, and I'm a hitman for the Jesuits, and I killed this person or that person or whatever. But no one's saying shit about nothing, you know what I mean? And it's just like weird accidents. The guy's walking across the street to go get gasoline and gets hit by a dump truck when he runs a 4.3 and a 4.4 maybe. Like, he's fast as hell, that dude. Dwayne Haskins is a fast guy. He's not an easy quarterback to take down. And he might have been the starting quarterback over, you know, Mitchell Trubisky, but you never know. All I know is he's a 24-year-old person that was just, you know, taken out too early in life. And he seemed like a nice guy. I lived in Ohio for a while, and he did get business down there, or up there. So, well, I appreciate everybody watching, and I'm going to talk to you guys later. I'm going to head to my meeting and see what I can do for a new occupation. So you guys take care, and see you next time.